Well, hello. It is bright and early in South Florida here. My watch won't turn on. Why? It's like 7 something. Still struggling with jet lag. Man, that stuff is real. Like this is 18-hour jet lag I'm dealing right now because I went from Florida to West Coast and then to Australia and then back to Florida. So it might be Christmas as far as my body's concerned. No frickin' idea. But just dropped a little one off at school and thought we'd do a great video because it might suck. In the process of buying another bike for a project, and I was working with a dealer not here locally, about a couple hours away, and it didn't go well. They wouldn't be getting a 5 on the customer service survey had I bought there. So, good morning. Happy Halloween season to you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, love ya. I got an email this morning. I just thought it was funny. I get emails trying to do like sponsorships of the channel. This channel is not sponsored. The sponsors are you by watching it, by the way. Thank you. That and those of you who have decided to become members of the channel. For that, love ya again. But I got an email today offering to sponsor the channel if I would promote an AI app that generates hairstyles. I feel like that was mean. Like, why? I mean, I know it's just a list and all that, right? There's a marketing person in a basement somewhere. That's not nice. I don't need apps that'll show me what I would look like if I had hair. I remember. It was years ago, but I remember. Anyway, so I got off topic. I'm sorry. I thought that was funny. So, in the process of buying a bike, not another one of these, not another touring bike, we're not doing another big body build thing. Big body build. I got a big body. Anyway, so we're not doing that right now. We'll do more of that stuff in the future. But what we're doing right now is actually something pretty cool. You may have seen, because it's been all over the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the stuff, that Ed Van Black, my buddy's company that makes all these painted body parts and stuff, they just launched a new fairing that is, I'll say it, it's very similar to the ST fairing, the one that comes on the Lowrider ST. They came out with one that's an accessory that you can add on to an existing Lowrider S to turn your Lowrider S into an ST, because the ST came out later and all these people want that. But it also does way more than that. You can mount it onto a whole bunch of bikes. And when it first came out, I was like, oh, that's cool. And I got to ride it. If you saw that video, go back to the history where we ripped up Azusa Canyon and I rode the Lowrider S with their fairing on it and loved it. Like, that was fun, a little rocket. It was a blast. And I got the wheels turning. Because as we were talking about it, and everyone's talking about how cool it is that you can put the ST fairing on an S or a late model lowrider or a Softail Standard or all these new Milwaukee 8 Softails. Everyone's real excited about that. I was excited about the idea of putting on an older bike. That's where my brain immediately went to. I'm like, I want to see that installed on an older dyna. Not old, but you know what I mean. It goes back to 2006, right? Definitely 2008 or so, but when 2006 was a first-year model when the dyna changed, the frame changed or something up by the neck. So in theory, it goes back to 2006. But the thing I've learned over the years is that first year of a generation, there could be something that wasn't right, and they tweak it for the next year, that kind of thing. So definitely 07, 08, but in theory back to 06. Anyway, so it made me think I want to go as old as I can, buy a dyna and put that ST fairing on it and have a ripper, like a little baby bagger that you would rip around. And I don't even want to put bags on it. I think I would just want to leave it, a dyna with a fairing, and just rip around on that and have a good old time. The thing I would change from riding the Lowrider S in California is forward controls, man. Fat guy cannot do mid mounts anymore. Like, my knees were in my chin, that doesn't work. So we need forward controls. Anywho, I got off topic. I'm sorry. So I start searching the interwebs to try and find a bike. That hurt, elbow, funny bone. Trying to find a bike that'll fit the bill. So I was looking for basically any twin cam dyna, right? Back as far as 06. It could be a lowrider. It could be a super glide. It could be a street bob, because they're all the same motorcycle. I imagine you know that, but if you don't, the dyna family of that generation, it's all the same motorcycle, just accessorized differently from the factory. My father had an 08 Super Glide Custom. I look like shit. Anyway, Super Glide Custom is just a Super Glide with a bunch of chrome on it. Okay? And there could be spokes or not spokes. His had spokes. So a Super Glide had like a raw engine, not chrome, and something else. Super Glide Custom had chrome. Street Bob was just basically a Super Glide with no back seat, no chrome, no rear pegs, you know, that kind of stuff. And it may have had different bars. Like a Street Bob may have had like 10-inch baby apes or something like that. But there was just minor little tweaks, but the frame and motor and all that, same. So what I wanted was like a twin cam 96 dyna that I could put that sort of ST style fairing on it, maybe even try and do the audio, because that's the thing, the Rockford Fosgate audio that you can buy from Harley on the accessories page, that's made to go on the Lowrider ST, fits the Advan Black fairing. So you can actually put audio on an old dyna. Like that would be really cool. Anyway, so I'm searching the interwebs and I find a bike. I'm not going to say what dealer because that's not nice. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's business ever, but it was not my dealer and not even a sister dealer to my dealer. My dealer historically has always been Alligator Alley Harley in Fort Lauderdale. I've lived down here in South Florida for 14 years. Yeah. And the only bikes I've ever bought that have not been from that store have been from the Indian dealer, and that was a terrible experience. So I bought old used bikes from them. I bought brand new bikes. Alligator Alley's always been my shop, and Corky's my salesman. So if you're in South Florida and you want to buy a bike, Corky at Alligator Alley's my dude. Called Cork immediately, said, I'm looking for an old dyna. And Corky has no ability to lie. he doesn't. He's like, I don't have those. That's old. I don't have it. I'm not going to have something that old anyway. So I told him like, oh, wait. And he's like, I'll look, but I ain't going to have it. Next day, he texts me a picture of a 2018 twin cam. No, couldn't have been an 18. Maybe it was, I don't know. Like the last year of the twin cam Lowrider S. Okay. They've got one at the store there that is just slick. It's got like Thrash and Supply risers, and somebody's repowder coated the wheels to make them more of a bronze color, not as dark. And it had a stage 3 in it, and it was just a badass bike that was owned by one of the service techs out back. He just traded it on a new Lowrider S. And I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. He's like, why? I'm like, my price point's around 8. And he's like, I have twice that in it. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm telling you. I'm looking cheap. I'm looking for, well, maybe not cheap, but I'm looking for that price point, around the $8,000 dyna. That should be easy to do, right? Not that easy to do. Like they're all 9, 10. Like, it's just nuts. Anyway, so I find on a website for a dealer that's up by Mickey Mouse's house, which is again, not Alligator Alley, not even a sister store to Alligator Alley, a Street Bob. Newer than I wanted. It was a 2012, same bike, but newer than I wanted, but still, it was a 2012 Street Bob. And I'm looking at the pictures and I can see that it's rough in all the ways that make it perfect for me. The bike looked great. The tins look great as far as paint, and also gloss black would help. You'll see later why. And no stripes. It would help for the bike to just be black with no stripes. So find it. Looks good. Paint looks good. It's only had like 7,500 miles on it, or 7,000 miles, something like that on it. But it was bad in all the right ways. And what I mean by that is just things that need labor. So the spokes were rotten. They were rusty and bad. The rocker box covers need some steel wool taken to them. Quadruple lot steel wool and polish. It looked like a mirror. Like it's you can bring that stuff back. So spokes can be brought back. Rocker box covers can be brought back. The dash was that wrinkle black dash, and it was rusty. It had surface rust. This bike had obviously lived outside. That can be scuffed up, repainted, and thrown back on the bike. These are all, it's just labor, right? The belt guard, upper belt guard was rusty. Again, rough her up, shoot her, and put her back on. And I could have really made this bike look like it was brand new again, just with hard work. And the price was exactly what I wanted to pay. Now, where dealer shenanigans become a real pain in my ass and just drive me nuts, which is why I like working with Corky, because we don't play games. You're on a bike on a website for $8,000. The guy sends me more pictures. We talk on the phone. I send a buddy to go look at it. My buddy Tom, who lives close to this dealer, went out and looked at it, rode it even, puked a little oil out of the air cleaner, but immediately I was like, it's overfilled, and it was. So it ran fine. I was excited that this was the bike, right? In my mind, I was like, this is the one. It's all stuff I can fix that's wrong with it, not a problem. The idea of how I was going to get it and the sort of videos I could make with it was going to be a lot of fun. I was excited about that. I'm not driven by like, oh, I get content as king. I meant like I was excited for the trip, right? I was going to take the Brightline train from West Palm up to Orlando and then, have a buddy pick me up or do the Uber Scoober Lyft to the dealer, give him the money and then ride it back. It was going to be, honestly, probably a funny ride back because it's 250 miles on a dyna with like a stock ass Street Bob with a fat guy on it. I knew it was going to be hilarious because it was going to be miserable. I know 250 is not far, but 250 on a dyna was mid-mounts when you're as big as I am. Anyway, so I knew it was going to be funny. So I was like, this is the bike. So I tell the dude my negotiation tactic was, needs a lot of work, but it's just labor. The bike is perfect for me for what I'm going to do with it. You're asking 8, I'll give you 8 with the plate on it. Meaning, I'll give you 8 tax title license on it. So what am I offering him really? I think the wife and I did the math, like 72, right? This is not an insane offer. This is actually what I expected. Is I was going to say 8 out the door. They're going to say 87.50. I'm going to say no. They're going to say 80. They're going to do the dance, and finally they're going to give me the price that I offer in the first place, 8 out the door. Because 8 out the door is not a bad deal for that. I'm happy. They should be okay with it. They get rid of an old dyna nobody wants, that kind of thing. Because again, a rough bike is a hard bike to sell, especially in South Florida, because a lot of you out there that own Harleys are all about, wrenching on them and working on them and cleaning them up and fixing whatever problems they might have. The average South Floridian, no offense, average, not all of you, there's some dudes I know down here that work on stuff. The average South Floridian, a screwdriver is scary. Like I don't know what it is down here. They don't work on stuff. Oh, Quality Handmade. You don't know him? Look him up on Instagram. Local chopper builder, badass dude. So I was like, perfect for me, bad for them. 8 out the door is fine. So he's like, all right, I'll shoot him the offer. I get a text a couple minutes later saying, nah, they're stuck at 10.2. And I'm like, where the fuck did the $2,200 come from? Like, what is that? And he says, well, tax, title, and license. I'm like, $700. He's like, it's also got like a $900 service charge against it that we brought it in. And then, dealer fees and prep. I'm like, prep? Some bitch was prepped 11 years ago when it was brand new. There's no, I just lost I didn't say anything to the dealer. I didn't, I'm like, dude, my offer was fair at 8. It's on your site for 8. And I don't think he knew that. And that irritates me. I don't think he knew the bike was priced at $8,000 on his own website. And then now, radio silence. I mean, we might be playing that game where my father was in the car business for many, many years after I got back from Vietnam. And he always used to tell me, when you're buying something where there's a negotiation involved, a car, a bike, a boat, RV, whatever, when you make an offer, or if the dealer makes you an offer, someone says a number, I gave you 25, the next person who speaks loses. You've lost the initiative in the negotiation. It's almost combat stuff, but it's seriously. If I'm the salesperson and I say, how about 25? I'm not going to say a word. I'm not going to blink. I actually used to sell Jeeps when I was in college, so I learned that from him. Nothing. I will say nothing. I'm going to stand there and it'll be days. Fine. I can say nothing because the next person who speaks loses. They've lost the initiative. So if I say 25 and then you go, well, 23. So, all right, now you're on the defense. I've got you. That kind of thing. It's whoever speaks next loses. So when I said 8 and he said 10.2, I broke the rule but didn't when I said it's on your website for 8. I've gotten no response ever since then, nothing at all. So just a story I wanted to share about how dealers can really do a bad job. They need to do better. So many of them need to do better. Know what your bikes are priced at on the website. Know that if you put a number out there, and you put the number out, right? You put the number out at 8,000. The average customer is assuming they're going to pay a little less. They're going to offer you less than that. If you say it's 8, I'm going to go 7. If you say it's 8 and I go 7, you can't counter at 10. That's not, the math doesn't work there, right? So dealers, do better. Comment down below. I really want to hear your stories because I think we have a live stream on Friday. Today's Wednesday, the 25th, I think. We have a live stream this Friday. Public. Everyone invited. Come on, hang out. We're going to talk about this because dealer stories crack me up. They really do, because they're just nightmarish, total disasters sometimes, and I really do want to hear your story. So comment down below what's, dealer story you've had recently, what someone tried to pull on you, what sort of ridiculous response you've gotten to a question. I want to hear that stuff, and we'll talk about it again on Friday. So until then, love you all to death. Take care of each other. We'll talk real soon. Oh, and I did find another bike, so look forward to videos of that. Not a done deal, but we're going to see if that works out better. I found a little independent shop. God help them, maybe that'll work. So love you all to death. We'll talk soon. Bye.